Hey there everyone, this is Reladox and welcome back to the tower. So first things first, I just want to say thank you to everyone. That first video got way more support than I was expecting. I think it's at almost 600 views at this point. It's only been out for about 5 days or so, so thank you to everyone who watched that and subscribed to the channel. I really appreciate it. But with that out of the way, let's get into the progress update. So this video is probably going to be coming out on YouTube about a week after the first one that I uploaded. It's actually being recorded 2 weeks after though. I just had a bunch of issues with the first one, getting the recording working in OBS, getting the video edited and everything. So what you're seeing is actually 2 weeks of progress since the last video that I posted. I also had someone on the last video who was asking if I could post some gameplay of one of my runs in the game, so I'll probably edit that in here at the beginning while I'm just talking to everyone. But anyways, I don't think there's really been too many massive changes since the last video and this one. I think the main one's probably I've been pushing milestones on a couple different tiers. I was able to hit wave 1100 on tier 15, and I've been getting a lot of stones from that, so I was able to upgrade a few of my ultimate weapons, which we'll get into here in just a second. But I just wanted to say thank you one more time to everyone who watched the video. I'm glad some people enjoyed it, got some entertainment out of it. If there's anything you guys want to see in the future, if you want to see any guides on any sort of topics or subjects or strategies in this game, just let me know. I'll see if I can get something recorded and post on YouTube for that. But yeah, I guess let's get into things. Start off by going over my tournaments up here. I've actually had some pretty rough brackets the last few weeks. You can see my last 2 tournaments, I was barely able to get 14th place. The tournament before that is actually the first time I haven't gotten top 15 in a Legends tournament in a while. It was a really rough bracket, if I'm remembering right. I think there was something like 9 or 10 players that were all over wave 800. And it was just a rough bracket, but it happens sometimes. It's kind of just the way that this game goes. I am still focusing pretty heavily on trying to get my tournament results up right now, which I feel like it's been working. I've been seeing pretty consistent like wave increases compared to when I was first in Legends League a few months ago, so I think it's just a matter of getting some better brackets. But moving on to my workshop over here. Start out in the attack tab here. Nothing's really changed in this tab or the defense tab. I just don't see a lot of point to upgrading anything right now. I'm able to max out health regen, damage, super crit molt, and all that pretty easily in tournaments. So I think I'm pretty happy with where they're at. If I wanted to get another 100 levels on it, it would be 64 trillion, which is a whole run worth of coins, so just don't think it's worth it right now. Over in the utilities tab, I have pumped some more coins into the attack level skips. I've got enemy attack level skip and health level skip both up to 360 now. So yeah, that's just kind of been in an attempt to increase my tournament results more. Neither of these do a whole lot for me in farming runs since I'm able to max both of the stats before wave 1000, but I think they have been helping my tournament runs a little bit. Moving on to the ultimate weapons here. I have bumped up my smart missiles a little bit. I think I put 1 upgrade into damage, 2 upgrades into quantity. And that's just been helping me kill enemies a little bit more consistently in tournaments. But the big upgrade is Chrono Field. So I finally got the speed reduction up to 75%. It's been something that I've been wanting to work on for honestly a few months now, and I just haven't gotten around to it. Those 900 stones is just, it's half a month worth of tournament savings for me. But like I said, decided earlier today it was probably about time to take another shot at all of my milestone runs. I was able to get around 250 stones from that. I've just saved up my rewards for my last 3 tournaments, and that was just enough for me to knock out the last level of Chrono Field speed reduction. You can see I put 1 more level into Chrono Loop here. This is probably what I'm going to be dumping my next few tournaments worth of rewards into. I've only got it at level 1 so far, and I've already been seeing a decently big effect in farming runs, tournaments, and milestone runs. Picks them up and throws them through all my orbs as it comes towards my tower. I've been noticing that a lot of times I'm able to get almost 20-25% of the boss's health down just with my orbs. So I think I'm going to keep working on this for right now. Whenever it's at a pretty good level, I'll probably go back into leveling up smart missiles a little bit more, get some more damage and quantity on that, but the thing is, I can always increase my damage through labs. I can keep working on damage, crit factor, super crit factor. There really aren't any labs to help give you more crowd control, besides maybe attack speed, and that's pretty minimal crowd control. So I think Chrono Field has a lot of versatility, a lot of value. It's one of the only things in the game that provides what it does, and I want to take it up as high as is reasonable. So I'm probably going to put 2 or 3 more levels into Chrono Loop before I go back into upgrading smart missiles. Other than that, I don't think there's really been any changes at all. I think everything's at the same level it was in the last video, so over into the enhancement tabs here. Not a whole lot's been going on coin-wise, and I'll show you why that is in just a minute here, but I think I upgraded crit factor and super crit molt one time. I honestly don't even know if I've upgraded anything else. All of my coins have been going into this slab right down here at the bottom. So Shatter Shards, I just finished up level 3, and I'm getting started on level 4 now. But this slab, I had to save my coins for about 5.5 days just to be able to afford level 4 of this. So pretty much everything else was put on hold until I had enough coins saved up for that, so enhancements haven't seen a whole lot of love recently. Hey there everyone! Post-editing Relidox here. I don't know how this totally missed me at the time, but you might have noticed I actually did unlock orb enhancements in the Enhancements tab. I did that probably a couple days after the last video got posted, and that's just because I recently switched my module over to using negative mass projector. So I went ahead and unlocked the orb size enhancements just so I could hit a few more bosses with that and catch some more enemies in it. But yeah, just wanted to clear that up for anyone watching. Oh, I guess on that note, I probably should also point out I have made a little bit of progress in the vault over here. Just got this enhancements discount. I only need 25 more keys to unlock the add gem stack here. So I'm about halfway there so far. Another, I want to say, 2 or 3 months of tournaments, and I should be able to afford this at the rate I'm going at. Who knows? Maybe I'll start doing better in tournaments and I'll actually be able to get it sooner than that, but yeah. Over in the cards tab, everything's pretty much the same, so I think we'll just go on to modules next. If you notice, I have actually made a decent bit of progress on my modules recently. Finally was able to get started on the module shard cost reduction lab, so I want to say I've put around 10 levels into each of my modules since the last video that I recorded. Also been able to reroll a few different substats here. I think my Being Annihilator, I got crit factor on. G-comp is the same, I think. Same with Wormhole. So I guess it's mostly just Being Annihilator. I've actually started using Being Annihilator over Death Penalty in my tournament runs, just because now that it's at Ancestral 2-star, and I have 3 Ancestral crit factor substats on it, the damage bonus I get from this has just allowed me to kill enemies more consistently way further out than I could with Death Penalty. The 11% chance to instantly kill enemies is really strong, but I just don't think it's as strong as the extra damage that I get from Being Annihilator. So I did also manage to get Black Hole Digester and Astral Deliverance both up to Ancestral, which is super cool. I don't really use either of them, but the more modules I'm able to get to Ancestral, the better, I guess. Still working on trying to get the last 2 copies of Dim Core that I need. I'm so close, but I just cannot pull those last 2 copies. Same for Death Penalty, 2 more copies and I can get it to Ancestral. And Anti-Cube Portal, haven't seen a copy in months. To be honest, I think that once I get Dimension Core and Death Penalty up to Ancestral, I'm probably just going to stop rolling modules. I'm not getting this to a usable level anytime soon, so I'm probably not even going to try for it until I have all my card slots unlocked and I'm at a happy spot with my labs. So yeah, that's about where all my modules are sitting right now. moving on to labs here. I'm currently running lab speed, chrono field range, module shard cost, attack speed, and shatter shards level 4. Lab speed, I'm honestly getting fairly close to finishing this off. I think I'm just going to permalab it until it's done. I know a lot of people say that they pause this lab to run other things, which is totally fair, and I understand the argument there, especially because certain labs like Deathwave Cell bonus, or labs that'll let you make more progression on your tier and get more cells, might actually lead to more labs overall, but I think at the point I'm at, I'm able to constantly keep all my labs at a 4x bonus, and labs are probably one of my biggest bottlenecks, so I really want to just... anything that has to do with lab speed, that has to do with lab speed-ups, I want to just maximize that as soon as possible, because this is what I'm going to be working on for the longest time in this game. Chrono Field range, I've been getting started on that now that I'm putting more investment into Chrono Field. I'm starting to put some levels into Chrono Loop too, and I've noticed that in tournaments, which I should probably preface first by saying that for tournament runs, I do have my range lab up to level 25. I like to turn that up, it just gives me a 50% boost to my range, it really helps me deal with bosses and ultimate enemies a lot more. But I've noticed that a lot of times when my tower's focusing on those enemies, things like protectors will actually slip through the cracks between my black holes. So normally in farming runs, my black holes are big enough to cover my entire tower range. There's no worry of that. In tournament runs, with the extra 50% range, it leaves a gap between my black holes that ranged enemies can kind of just slip through and shoot at my tower at. It's actually what I lost my last tournament to, was 4 shots in a row from a ranged enemy that my tower just couldn't deal with. So I'm wanting to take my Chrono Field range up here, and I think that if I get it to max level, I put a few more levels into Chrono Loop, it'll kind of just spin enemies around so everything's getting pushed into black hole before it gets in my tower range. That, and it just gives me more time to take enemies out with Chain Lightning, Smart Missiles, Spotlight Missiles before they get within like close range of my tower. Module Shard Cost. This lab, I think I'm also just going to run until it's finished. It's been, honestly, giving me super big boost to my progression recently. Like I said, I've gotten almost 10 levels on all of my modules. I'm actually getting pretty close to unlocking this level 141 substat here on the modules. So module shard cost has been paying dividends. It also has the same sort of effect that standard perk bonus does, where since it's leveling up my cannon modules, my generator modules, my core modules, I'm getting boosts to my attack, my defense, and my coin gains all at the same time. It's just a really versatile lab. I've been hitting new records in my farming runs. I've been hitting new coin records. It's just overall super valuable. I would have gotten to this sooner. I just had more important stuff I needed to knock out. But this lab slot down here for attack speed, I've honestly kind of been bouncing it back and forth between attack speed, damage, crit factor, and then super crit chance and super crit molt. It's kind of just my all-around damage slot right now. Like I said, I've been wanting to take my damage up a lot higher, and I feel like I finally have the lab space to do that, so this slot's been bouncing back and forth. And then this 5th lab down here is just pretty much permanently dedicated to Shatter Shards until it's done. Shatter Shards has the effect where the longer you wait to do it, the more you lose out on it. Or the more you lose out on, like, module shard-wise. Because whenever you pull a module over here, so let me just claim a gem here, whenever you pull a module, at least for me, I have all the rares that I need to get everything up to Ancestral. So whenever I pull modules, I come over here, shatter them, get the shards from them, 16 core shards. With things like module shard cost, I can get a level of that in the lab, come over here, click restore level, and then it'll give me back the same amount of shards that I put in. So when I level it up, I'll actually end up with a little more shards. I basically don't lose out on anything, no matter how long I wait to knock that lab out. With shatter shards, every time that I'm shattering a module and I don't have this leveled up, I'm losing out on those shards and I'll never have a chance to get them back, so I just want to knock this out as soon as I can. Modules are huge for your progression in this game, and they they slow down a lot as you get them leveled up. The next few levels, trying to get to 141 and 161 to get the last submodule slots unlocked, is going to take a huge amount of shards. The earlier I can get a start on this, the better off I'll be, and the more it'll help my account in the long run. So, my main thing I'm debating right now is just whether I'm going to save up for level 5 once this one's done. I think that lab's around 1 quadrillion coins total, so at the current amount of coins I'm making, that would take a little over 10, well, probably around 10 days of farming. That's just a long time to be saving my coins and not putting them into anything else, so I am going to have to consider switching this once level 4 gets done, but highly recommend this lab. I think anyone who can afford it should do it as soon as they can. That range, I probably want to pump up a little higher. I think I might get this to level 35 or so, just because the first levels are super fast. Yeah, damage, crit factor, super crit chance, super crit molt. I want to work more on all of these as soon as some lab spots open up. Yeah, recovery package chance, it's a really important lab. Again, I just have other priorities. Enemy health level skip and enemy attack level skip. These are 2 labs I definitely need to knock out at some point. But they're both up to taking over 3 days just to get 1 level in them, and that's for a 0.1% boost to an attack level skip stat. I don't think they're worth it right now. I'll come back to them at some point, but Chronofield duration, I got 1 more level in. Now I'm up to 59-second uptime. So I need to come back and finish this off sometime. I'm just procrastinating it for right now because I just feel like there's other more valuable stuff, and I haven't noticed my Chronofield going down on me at all. I've had it at 58 seconds for at least like 4 or 5 months now, and I can't think of a single time it's gone down on me in tournament, besides when the ultimate weapon duration battle condition is up. So I think this will be fine for now. I know I need to finish it, but I'll be okay. Yeah, Missile Amplifier, want to knock that out too. It's just 9 days is a really long time for a lab, and just to go from 34x to 35.5, I think I'll probably get more value just from doing the regular damage labs for right now. Definitely come back to this at some point, but I think it's fine where it's at. Reroll shards, I got a few more levels in. I want to knock this out pretty soon. I think actually, if I can't afford the next level of Shatter Shards, I'll probably replace it with reroll shards instead, and just work on getting this lab finished up. Chronofield range, like I said, I think I'm going to take this to max. It only goes to level 20, and it's a pretty short lab overall. I can probably have this done before the next video comes out. So I think I'll just perma this until it's done, have it out of the way. Yeah, I think most of the rest of this is just econ stuff, and then ban perks, core effects, and energy shield extra hit. Energy shield extra hit, I don't think it's... The second hit that I unlocked has been a little bit helpful in tournaments, but I've barely noticed it. And I think the third one's going to provide even less value. The main reason I wanted the second one is just because if an energy shield charge goes down, and I only have 1 left, I can still, like, have that charge and be recharging one at the same time, if that makes sense. So I'm basically not wasting any charge time once the boss hits me once or twice. I don't think the third level will give me a lot of value. It takes 8 days. We're going to hold off on that. And then ban perks. I do actually want to level this up sometime soon. Probably not for the reason that you're thinking, though. I actually want this for my milestone runs, because a lot of runs, like on tier 15, I'm only getting to around wave 1100. I'm not nearly maxing out my perks, I'm not even getting all the perks that I want, and a lot of times, I noticed when I was doing my milestone runs earlier today that one of the biggest factors in how well I did was what perks I was able to get. The run where I got 1100 waves on tier 15 is the run where I got 3 perk wave requirements in a row, and then I got 5 defense percent perks. So I was able to max out my defense percent, I was able to tank way longer than I normally could. And I want to level this up just so I can have a little more consistency when I'm working on those milestone runs. It's not a huge priority, but I do want to get around to that sometime soon. Then, yeah, I'll kind of just go through my labs here if anyone wants to check them out. see what level they're at. I do usually, whenever I finish a lab, I unfavorite it, so it doesn't show up near the top, so anything that I had up there last time, if you see it here gold box, means I probably just finished it between then and now. Yeah. Alright, I'm trying to think if there's anything else I really need to cover here. Not a whole lot's been going on. This event, luckily, we only have the 2 tower themes, no relics, so I've been able to save a lot of medals. I think I'll probably be able to get this bonus upgraded before the event's over and possibly another level in duration. Not sure yet, but that's what I'm hoping for. And then, yeah, I think that that's pretty much it. Not quite as eventful as the last episode. I think most of the big upgrades were in the ultimate weapons here. I'm really hoping that this chrono field reduction has a pretty big impact on my tournaments. I mean, taking it from 70% to 75%, this basically takes away 1/6 of the enemy's movement speed. So that's a pretty big debuff. I haven't had a chance to test it out yet in tournament, but I hope it does me pretty well. Which, speaking of, if you guys would like me to record one of my tournament runs one of these times, just so you can kind of get an idea what how my build performs in tournaments and what it looks like in like that lower mid area of Legends League, let me know. I'd be happy to record my next tournament. I think the tournament opens up in about 30 minutes as of me recording this video, so yeah, if that's something you'd be interested in, let me know and I can record that and put it up on the channel. But I think that's pretty much everything, so I hope you all enjoyed. If you did, leave a like on the video, leave me any comments if you've got any questions or anything, and I'll catch you in the next one.